if, you know, I felt
Hey everybody,
uncomfortable.
it's time for more Doom Eternals. Who's stomping around? I hear Stimpy Stomps in the background there. What's that all about? I think there's another... Oh, he's stomping. He's looking cool. I think there's a new event. Hack to the Future 2. I'll claim my XP. Oh, well, I guess I did part of it. The Doomslayer will save us. It must! Yeah, it's all classic Doom stuff. Ooh, Nightfire. Ooh, I got blue hands. Yeah, for some reason the media tech's been real hungry on the To Catch a Predators today. Oh, that looks neat. Circuit board. Classic Revenant, yeah. Oh, it's been a while. Oh yeah, so I turned I'm trying this low DPI, high sensitivity setup. We'll see if I get anywhere with that. All right, well you have to actually like let me change it though. There we go. I don't know if that, maybe. I have yet to die in that. Oh, my mic wasn't properly placed. My bad. I've yet to die in that imp room at the beginning, so we'll see what happens. Reximus, thanks for the prime. Thank you kindly.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you.
Getting a Chex Quest HD stream. I do have it downloaded.
Until it is done.
It's there. Here I am playing Doom. That seems a little high, actually. Whoop. Ah! Oh, it's still too high. Weird. It is. Yeah.
I've located the precinct and will mark it on your HUD.
That is definitely low DPI. Okay. Man. This, I don't know what you thought about Shadow Warrior when you played it, but there's Shadow Warrior 3 coming out next. Yeah? Next year? I always loved the so unserious main character. I can't wait to play it. Yeah, me neither. The remake of Shadow Warrior was leagues better than the original. I was never just a... Turn down the scaling and raise the sensitives underneath, maybe. I don't know what that means. You mean like in Windows? Hey, welcome, Slenders. Curiosity goes off when the numbers aren't even. Yeah, that got me for a while when it came to achievements. In the menu, there were sensitivity options underneath the scaling option. Oh. Oh. I don't want to change sensitivities specifically. Like, I feel like it feels good up and down, left and right. I think that's just if you want it to, like, scale differently in X or Y, which I do not want. I got pretty tired of playing console shooters that did that on PC for a long time. Shit. A new graphics card for this and it was totally worth it? I could see that, yeah. They did say they're gonna add RTX at some point, right? Uh-oh. Oh. like, the rocking of this room actually does affect your aim sometimes. Can I find that Phantasmagoria remake or Return to Zork? Oh boy. I'm going deep. I'm going deep in them references. I actually didn't play either of those games. Crusader No Remorse in VR, yeah. Just ask for every possible game that'll never actually get made.
The first Hell Priest has been terminated. The consumption of Earth has been reduced
2 subs
by
here.
36.
Cassiandra, Hully, and Crank That. Thank you guys.
There are 2 Hell Priests remaining.
Yeah, Flav, I don't know. Maybe those settings deserve some fiddling too. But they seem pretty low. Like, everything seems low, so it's not like something's abnormally high and I have to drop it down. I'm just kind of surprised that even at low DPI on my mouse, even at like sensitivity 2, just means like, fuck. I guess it means that the sensitivity can scale up a pretty ridiculous amount. Oh, how did you live through that? Hey, Dr. Walrus. Yeah, it's been a while. How you been? Been busy with stuff? Been doing things? Such a weird sound. Sounds like you're slurping it through a straw or something. I haven't died yet. That's a good sign. Not dying is always the patrician move.
Behold the fruits of our labor.
Oop. I didn't like. I feel like I'm hitting a lot of these shots, but I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. This is actually a pretty good test bed, I think. I want to get that armor. Boing. Is there massive stuttering? We got stutters. Yeah, OBS looks like it's losing its mind. Oh! Come on, OBS. Come back to me. What's happening here? Oh! Ooh. Okay. Indiana Junkins, thanks for the sub. It seems like it's going, but it's just like really, really chugging for some reason. What the heck is going on? Oh, I think we're good now. I guess maybe some load got dropped on my network or something. You have so many games downloaded, holy shit. How can you tell? But yes, I do. Oh, that's how. Never mind. I have yeah, I bought 2 solid states and rated them together. All your queued updates and unread messages, how do you live like that? Well, the queued messages are just spam invites that you cannot turn off. The only way Steam will handle that is just by letting your inbox fill up, and then people can't send invites anymore. Yeah, it actually sucks. It's It's one of the many, like, I understand that that's like not an issue everyone has to deal with, of being that popular on the internet, but if I ignore all those invites, then I'll immediately just get 100 more the next day. And you know what's extra fun? Is that Steam pops desktop notifications for invites every time you launch Steam. So if you have pending invites, you get to sit through 5 minutes of invites like popping up in the bottom right corner of your screen. I don't think you can turn them off either. Like, I think last time I checked, so it could be different now, but last time I checked, the invite notification, like, you could just turn off all notifications, not just invites specifically. Yeah, I am extremely popular. I got to where I was like, I was ignoring them, or sorry, that's the word. I wasn't mentally ignoring them. I would turn them down in Steam, so that number wouldn't be there. But then, like, every time I'd log in, there'd just be like another 18 invites. I think it's because also that's how we would do matchmaking for Grand Theft Auto, so it's probably less of a deal now. But yeah, I know that I have particular aggravations with Steam that relate entirely to my specific use case. And I try not to let that inform my opinion of the platform in general, but sometimes it'd be annoying. I'm the original E-boy, it's true. No, I used to wonder about that, like, what would it be like to be popular on the internet? Wait, hold on, I have ammo, so I think I'm fine. Ow, shit. When I was, I guess, a little less... Fuck! Shit, man. I'm probably gonna... I might die here. That, like... Fuck that. God. That hallway sucks! There's no way to safely get through it. That was such a lame-ass death. Oh. Of course it's on this monitor. And it's big. Go over here. Bleh. I don't understand that fucking hallway. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so impossible to tell. Yeah. It's so impossible to tell what state of all the enemies are going to be in.
All the wickedness that mankind...
There just happened to be a dude who just happened to be shooting directly down that hallway.
Only you. Rip and tear.
I get to go through the stupid boat again. Ugh. That's the demoralizing thing about Ultra Nightmare is, like... It takes, like, I want to say, at least 30 minutes of in-game playtime to get to the point where you have dash and a couple of guns. That was a cute little notepad. Notepad can be cute. Oh, yeah. Like, out of the entire first level, really, now, that hallway is, like, the least consistent for me. Shit. Maybe I do need to just save my fuel for that specific arachnotron. The idea of shooting the gun and running past is a good one, but maybe there's something about the timing I don't get. The other enemies in that hallway and, like, the fireball shooties at the end really make it unreliable. Unless I'm just, man, maybe there's a way to just get through it every time. Yeah. I wondered if he was gonna hit me. Sometimes they let you run past them. Sometimes they do not. You never know which one you're gonna get. All the 3 hour 100% speedruns I see tend to either bolt past that arachnotron and ignore him or chainsaw him from what I saw. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just kill the arachnotron in the little arena before that. You prefer Doom 2016, Holly? It was a simpler and arguably more pure experience. But I personally love all the changes they made in Internal. Made it harder and faster. I'm always down for that. Right. God, like, I can only look down so much because my, like, elbow's resting on my armrest. Fuck. It's only the afternoon and I feel like I'm crashing hard, so I'm gonna go take a nap. Sleep well? Were you up late last night? Hopefully gaming. Gaming real good? Oh yeah, the Wayward Man. I do not have a sub-count command. Seems tacky to me. So you'll just have to, as usual, rely on my word when I say that I am number one. Number one on the internet. Oh, Tsushima? Yeah. I played that a little bit more last night. I'm liking it. I like it. I think the reception to it's been interesting. I feel like a lot of people that acted exceptionally shitty during Last of Us Part 2's launch are acting extra nice now to prove that they're not bad people. I've seen that dynamic happen a little bit, where a community will be just utter shitheads, and I think subconsciously they feel bad about it, so they like act really nice for the next thing to prove that they're not shitheads. I feel like that. With certain groups, I feel like that dynamic is happening right now. There's even a name for it, I can't remember what though, but it's like, there's a concept that societally, when people do a bunch of really bad shit as a society, then they go through a period where they feel like they have to make up for it by being extra nice. Oh shit. Oh fuck, why are you here? That should be fine, it's fine. You're watching because you want to, or are you not watching because you want to play it? What, Doom or Ghosts?
Please assemble in an orderly fashion and move towards the nearest harvesting zone. Thank you.
Harvesting zone? Oh, Ghosts. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, the first hour or 2 hours of that game are kind of worth playing on your own as like a, you know, kind of personal gaming experience. After that, I think it probably, like, I feel like when a game is pretty cinematic, it's an experience designed for you to be had with just you in the game. And Ghost, the intro of Ghost is 100% like that. Reminds me a lot of the intro to Horizon Zero Dawn. But I feel like once you get a little more in the game and you start getting into like developing a play style, then I feel like the experience gets a little more unique about like, oh, I play stealth or I play combat. I use these tools. And then watching somebody do a particular mission, I feel like wouldn't necessarily change or alter your experience of that mission just because of how you would play it. But I totally get it. I'm really like Ghost is such a vibe game. I think like there needs to be There's a lot of value in that game for just the oh, I need armor. Whoa. For how well it extracts just the pastoral and calm and natural beauty of Japan. The music, the fucking cherry blossoms, the trees, the mist. Did you try cinematic mode? You mean Kurosawa mode? Landed some tasty crispy shots with the nades. Yeah, this mouse setting is actually feeling pretty good. I do have a habit of mitigating my successes, so allow me to do that again. Oh, after I just whiffed one, but the grenades do have a pretty generous like stick box. If you get close to an enemy, it will just sort of zap onto them sometimes. And then, yeah, and then you can just hang out in here and shoot these guys no problem. Except corpses catch grenades sometimes. What the hell hit me? Oh, yeah, that's right. The, like, zombified soldier man. His shots can blend in with the Hall fireballs pretty quickly. Should be an Ozu mode where you just talk to people for 2 hours. Oh, you mean in Ghosts? Thanks for posting the VODs on YouTube. They've been helping me through the past days of shitty depression. Ah, Pips. Or Pip Sprite. I'm very sorry to hear you're going through that. I'm glad that I can do whatever to help out, but do seek other forms of aid if you can. I know that's very easy for me to say. I know it's very hard to get adequate mental care, depending on where you are. And I certainly understand the, like, the issues of kind of telling somebody whose brain is already in not a cooperative state to be like, well, just use that brain to get help. Like, I understand it's not that simple, but I do want to always try to reinforce that, like, as much as YouTube and video games and entertainment can take the edge off, it's absolutely worth putting in the time and effort to try and either find medication or management techniques or both that get you to a better place fundamentally. But you don't have to worry about that right now. That's what we call a long-term goal. I'm gonna try to glory kill a little less, especially when I don't need to. Oh, I feel like that's been a constant issue of mine. Over glory killing. Glory overkilling. There we go. Oh. Fuck. I'm worried I'm getting surrounded here. There we go. But, like, okay, that actually killed him. Okay, I was gonna say, sometimes glory killing can be good when you're low on ammo, because for some reason enemies get a significant amount of, like, stun damage. Anyone here been missing school, college, or work lately, or is that just me? A little bit. A little bit. My brain's starting to get into weird territory, I'll be honest. I'll have dreams about, you know, normal things. And then wake up in weird moods. Is it more efficient to do... Does zoomed shot do more damage than 6 bullets? I feel like there's some... I should probably go on like a Doom Eternal wiki and really read up on how to min-max this game. Oh, the millions, you gotta go to work in the morning? Alright. See ya. Whoa! Okay. Didn't mean to do that. But like barely? Okay. So it is efficient to use charge shot when like the cooldown is up, basically. Same with sticky grenade. Rocket Arena looks different. So Deonix, it's funny because people say that a lot on Twitch. At this moment, that's actually incorrect. This is where Rocket Arena came from. I guess not Doom, but this is actually closer to Rocket Arena than Rocket Arena itself, weirdly. In aesthetic, not necessarily in design. Could have switched to Ballista or like Super Shotgun. I mean I know the golden rotation. Those are not options when you don't have those guns though. It's the summer season, which means I should be working a ton of concerts. I've worked none, and it's the weirdest thing ever. Ah, you're in events?
I'd like to thank you for your support during this.
Well, no wonder you got a hard time. I always have dreams about whatever's stressing me out. Ah, yeah, stress dreams. Those are fun, especially when like you get in that weird kind of half stress point where you're asleep, but not really. Like, you're not fully REM sleeping, you're just stressing out. It's almost like fever dream territory. Ugh, it's the worst. I've had a few of those. Oh, I thought I was using this gun. Yeah, that's when your noggin does you a real favor and decides to fixate on the one thing you wish you could get away from while you're sleeping. I've had some breakups that were real bad about that stuff. Oh, you had sleep paralysis for the first time? Oh no. Yeah. Home Dillis, I can only imagine how, like, there's some people who've talked about sleep paralysis before, how you can get used to it. It's still annoying, but it's not terrifying. But I can only imagine, man, the first time. I'm very sorry to hear that. Fuck. Oh, mucked out a little bit there. Oh! Shit.
Forget about the future. To suffer is to be present.
I'm already trying to pincher me like that. Oh! Oh! Ow! No! I had to guess that I was gonna get the glory kill off that. What is still hitting me? Oh, there was a imp. Shit. All right. Fuck. Okay.
The UAC, because it takes a lot of hard work.
Most of my sleep paralysis are monsters coming to me or crawling towards my face. Fuck me! That's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. Holy shit. Oh. Wow. Shit. So it's more than just a physical symptom, like you manifest certain images or I guess it's your mind trying to explain the sensation, maybe? It's your mind being half asleep and your brain trying to make sense of why you can't move. Yeah, that makes sense. That happens a lot. The brain like working in reverse from situations that don't make sense to form constructs that make it make sense to you. If you've ever seen
Forget about the future.
people deep in that and their conscious waking things are like QAnon supporters and stuff, how they hold all of these beliefs as the bedrock of their existence. So when they're presented with information that doesn't gel with that, their brain automatically forms these intense workarounds to make it fit. It's like a defense mechanism, really. I remember reading something about how, like in caveman days or whatever, when we started developing rational thought and memory and like we're able to write things down, our brains were already overloaded. So our brains had to start figuring out a ton of very fast, rational, cognitive shortcuts to keep us functioning and moving. So we wouldn't just stop and like get overloaded with philosophical thoughts about stuff. It works. Like, the thing about the body and the mind is that it works, but it wasn't designed to, like, it wasn't designed for maximum efficiency. It gets us up and moving and eating and having sex and propagating the species, but all the other things are just kind of accidental. I think personally, I tried to keep in mind what an irrational ape I can be. It keeps you humble, I think, and it also, I think, prevents the instances that we're kind of referring to before in a previous game, where like people trust their gut. It's like, no, don't do that. Their gut is a monkey brain. Monkey brain can be fun when it's indulged. Watching porn, eating good food, banging hot people, always mutually, or with mutual consent, of course. Always. That stuff can be fun, but I feel like your thinking brain should give it permission to take over and not let it run your life. But we all have cognitive blind spots where we have no clue, you know? That's, to me, that's fun. Is figuring out where your monkey brain is and what it's been doing for you when you didn't ask it to and had no idea. Night thumps. That sounds horrible. You guys are really spreading around some nightmare fuel today. I guess literal nightmare fuel, that's what this is. I have PTSD from a few messed up things that happened while I was in the military, so I can get hit with particularly awful dreams and flashbacks from time to time. I'm sorry to hear that. Not that this is something you should be curious about, but I'm just saying because it's been on my mind lately. Are you familiar with the Stack Up organization?
The gathering of health is located just above your location.
I got to talk with Steve, the guy who runs it. Awesome dude, but it's essentially just a communal group for people who have served that use, or it's a community formed around video games and veterans to help people find support and resources to manage PTSD and things like that. It's also just yeah, Slenders, you might want to look into it. I'm already getting a little choked up because it's, I don't know, it's a pretty great organization with great goals. Thank you, TL Josh. Okay, well, first level down. That could have been worse. But essentially what Bradley Cooper was doing at the end of American Sniper. It's like that, but for video games. Yeah, thank you for serving, for sure. I
do not have the means to locate the sector.
This is mostly coming out of ignorance, but I just, man, maybe National Guard? I don't know. I remember when I was graduating high school, I was like, I would like to enter some kind of service where it's like, it's a job construct. Is there like a GI Bill but for non-combatant roles? I guess is where I'm going with that. The Black Rifle Coffee Group are pretty veterans who help other veterans make good coffee. That's awesome. Mecha Arc, thank you for gifting out 5 subs. Also, Indiana Junkins, I think I thanked you already, but I'm thanking you again. Thank you. If you served, you served, combat or not. Oh, I know, but I'm just like, if you're going to enter the military service, like, is there a way to get the GI Bill while only like repairing bridges or completing infrastructure projects? Is that more like, is that National Guard? Is that Coast Guard? I don't know. I didn't get that far back in the day because the college I applied to offered me a scholarship. I was like, well, that makes things real simple. I don't know if that exists, but it'd be great if it did. But that is like FDR level liberal utopia bullshit. I'm joking. Partially. Seems like we'd rather pay our fighting men's to shoot people than fill potholes. Maybe the reserves? Maybe. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Ah! Can't decide who I'm gonna shoot! Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a man there. Okay. Whoa. Army Corps of Engineers? Yeah, something like that. Government earned money from potholes. No. Well said. Oh yeah, guest account. No, the music's gonna start picking up here. Most of the fights in the first and second levels are really short. It's when you get those like long ass fights and Cultist base and Doom Hunter base when the soundtrack starts to really overload. I was drinking water. Demons, please. Do love the hearing demon guts squish all around you in stereo. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think about how many times I've died when I had a rune. So this is such an rune loadout. I feel like it's such an interesting conundrum and an eternal. Requirement is based on time served active service. So guard on orders and reserve actions covers the time, but your best bet would be to use the separate benefits, not the GI Bill. Huh. I see. I think I see. Guard kills faster. I'm gonna try this one. Slow-mo saves must have in my experience. Yeah. Get the slow in air rune. That was what I used to beat it on Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare. I've just stopped using it, so I think I need to go back to it. It's actually, yeah, I think especially in the early game, that's probably the safest rune, and it basically ensures that all your precision shots are gonna hit, which is pretty useful. When's it getting ready for boot camp stream? I mean, I guess technically it's most streams that I start with Ring Fit, you know. I defy you to tell me in any way how Ring Fit is not the perfect tool to prepare me for military service. I do remember when I was like 17, 18, I did want to just go through boot camp just to see if I could do it. There's got to be like services that will take your wormy teen and put them through boot camp, right? I can't dash yet. Oh boy. Okay. I think another thing I really need to just be a little more diligent about is making sure that I'm chainsawing up ammo every time, which now I need ammo for to cross this hallway properly, but I think I might have there's no ammo at the base of this room. Oh, there's a little guy. Okay. Didn't drop much. Before you made it today, I mean this. My first run ended ignobly. Man! Those boys got the jets when they want them. Whew. Listen. Yuka Kits. Hold on. Oh, Yokai Kitsuneko. There we go. Thank you for the sub. Join Space Force. Ah, how old am I? 36. I try to get names right. Sometimes I get them wrong for like weeks. Anyone in chat now, forever and all time, has absolute permission to correct my pronunciation of your name, of anything. You don't even have to be right. Just start correcting me. Why not? Dade County, Florida jail does boot camp. Must be a felon to reserve your spot. That's not so bad. I can do that. It seems like it's pretty easy to be a felon these days. All I gotta do is trade away my right to vote. Aroo! Dude, barrel! What the hell, man? Alright. It's not a real barrel. I think we've seen the negative effects of an individualistic society now due to COVID after years of thinking it's more progressive than collectivist cultures. John, no, because I think we've seen this exact thing before. It's just the stakes weren't as high. This may or may not be comforting to you. It was a little comforting to me, because at least it means that some of this bullshit is a little more timeless than our specific climate right now, but nearly the exact same reaction came to seatbelts being mandated. The same people being like, fringes on my rights, and a bunch of like, you know, you always have to use a southern accent when you do that, right? Which I want to stop doing, but it's hard not to sometimes. But, you know, also people saying it doesn't work, or questioning the science of it, or making up their own weird bullshit science that makes no sense. All of that stuff happened with seatbelts. The only difference is the seatbelts didn't kill other people. Oh, Dr. Sinoir. That's right. It's not Senior. Sinoir. I think you corrected me with that before. So is it Sinoir? Or is it Sinoir? Sinoir. But yes, as someone who grew up in, you know, Texas, not technically the South, but people like to conflate the two. I do kind of take issue when people conflate Southern accents with ignorance, because I knew a lot of very intelligent, eloquent speakers who just so happen to have a Southern or something accent. I don't normally roll back in the day, but America would burn shit down if they had to do a quarter of the shit imposed during World War II. We don't have the balls for rationing. Yeah, I guess to count. It's been very depressing to see how paper thin the resolve of most United States residents are. It's weird because the collective populace likes to own certain great accomplishments of the United States. Like, we went to the moon, we did all these things. Well, you didn't do anything, actually. And it turns out that when it does come time to sacrifice and work hard, you're actually not willing to do it. It's other people that worked exceptionally hard to give you the right to own those things by proxy, but sin as opposed to science. So sin noir? Okay, I can do that. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. And it also makes a pit open up in my stomach when I think about global warming. About how if we need collective action to solve global warming, it's not going to happen. Not in the United States, at least. Potentially, if the government, won't happen now, but maybe a year from now, if things are not insane, can pass, like, just really crazy restrictions that don't keep getting rolled back, fuck you, Trump, then maybe companies will start to do that, and through that, then no matter what, like, no matter how hard an individual tries, they can't buy SUVs that just belch out gas. They can't buy products that are inefficient. That's the only way I can see any of it ever happening. Oh my god. I thought he had to jump to the lower spot first before he came up here. Oh god. No! Ah shit. Fuck. Oh. Luckily I have dash now, so he's gotta take the long way to get to me. Dude. That's not the end of this fight, I don't think, though. Yeah. I think there's like 2 arachnotrons in this fight too, maybe? Ah! Cool. Alright. Ban steam locomotives. Yeah. Coal. Having the capacity to see issues with your own actions and wanting to prove it is a great trait. Yeah. I think it's something that everyone should at least dedicate a little brain power to trying to do, but a lot of people will actively refuse and get indignant if you even suggest that's a process that should be done on an individual. You know, it's this like pairing of, I guess to go back to I live here, but I can't speak on behalf of, you know, all the millions of people that live in the United States, but this interesting pairing of American exceptionalism with freedom. If you just smash those two together, it means whatever I want to do is right, and you can't tell me that I'm not allowed to do it. even if my actions have an effervescent, an intangible effect on others.
This Sentinel battery can be used to provide additional power.
Everyone in the United States wants to believe they're on their own little island.
Unused. Finding more batteries will enable you to utilize the full functions of your command station.
I remember talking to my dad about it and suggesting that we like buy more efficient light bulbs, and he flew into a rage. He was like, and to be fair, this was brought up in school, issues of environmentalism, but he was like, this is horrible. School's filling your head with all these terrible thoughts. This is just private industries trying to get me to buy new light bulbs. And I was like, no, I think there's something to this. But yeah, he was not having it. I guess that's the other thing, is everyone's so deathly afraid they're going to get taken advantage of. Everyone's so afraid they're going to get worked or be tricked. No one wants to be tricked. Everyone thinks everything's a fucking, it's a conspiracy. They're trying to steal from you. I would say that's a byproduct of news media literally telling you that that's happening all the time, but I guess to some degree too it kind of is. That's, I guess, you know what, now that I think about it, that's another pretty deeply American sensibility. Buyer beware. An open market that ostensibly relies on the intelligence and diligence of its inhabitants. Yeah, my dad got angry about a lot of things back in the day. He was wound up tight all the time, just kind of ready to lose it. Wasn't the most free and adventurous environment to grow up in as a curious youth, I'll say that. Then again, he had to work a job he probably didn't like. Probably felt like he had no time for himself, so now that I'm older, I can kind of appreciate in reverse some of the situations he was under. Oh shit! God! Holy shit! I've never been like backed into a little alcove like that before. With a gargoyle, no less. Those guys are awful. Starbucks changes their cups in December. Gotta ruck up for war. Well, had a moment this week. A friend of mine only recently came into was gonna do something, and I blatantly told him it was some hypocritical bullshit and kind of went off a little. I don't know him well enough to know if he'd take me seriously. He did and apologized. I honestly did not expect it. That's not bad. Sounds like a pretty good interaction. Yeah, I gotta... that's a skill that I struggled to learn and still struggle to implement, which is that depending on the stage of intimacy you have with somebody and the depth of your relationship, you're kind of not allowed to call certain things out. Yeah. I do definitely have a big mouth. Literally and figuratively. What's your relationship with him now, Steven? We don't talk much. He'll sit in on calls. Like my mom will essentially schedule Zoom calls with me and the rest of my family, and then he'll just kind of sit there. So at least he doesn't go off on stuff. But he'll do the thing that I do a lot. I do a lot, and I have tried to suppress this. But when there's a conversation topic and you feel like you have something to add, it doesn't mean if it's contextual, and it certainly doesn't go through the mental paths of, wait a minute, does anyone else already know this? Or would they potentially already know it? Instead, you just go right to, here's this thing I know. And then you lay it out for somebody like an instructor revealing information. The problem is if people already know that, or they don't think that what you're saying is correct, it sounds incredibly patronizing. And the funny thing is, I've heard my dad complain about his mom doing that to him, but then he does it to everyone else, and I do it too. And it's just like, you know, that's part of life. You inherit certain behaviors you wish you didn't. I think the difference is recognizing them and not. Like most people, I think when they find themselves doing it, they kind of freak out and externalize the problem.
Activate the mech and clear a path forward.
Yeah, we still have somewhat of a connection. We're just very different people. We just don't really gel. He's a very old soul. And I mean that in the sense that he likes to be on his boat and drink tea. And as far as I can tell, that's the extent of him being happy. Noir. It was a tough conversation. Didn't know he valued my opinion enough to take that from me. Very happy he did. It's so hard for me to trust the integrity of people. Legit threw me off that he owned it up and went, no, you're right, and followed me through on correcting what I called out. Hey! That's awesome, though. Savor that, though. I mean, things went right for once. Isn't that what everyone wants? I mean, I guess to some degree. The thing that I can kind of empathize with is that I also have... Like, I think we're both pretty introspective people, and we both have trouble feeling comfortable with people to the extent that we can let our guards down and sort of open up about things. And to me, I suspect that a good deal of that is finding people who are tolerant and patient enough to deal with our bullshit. That's how I would phrase it, because there are some behaviors that he has and that I also have that are just not, like, some people are going to rightfully take issue with. So it's got to be this magic window. Oh, same with me and my dad? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we've commiserated about this before, but I am envious and to some degree confused by people who have really strong familial connections. Should I stream myself doing welding and fabrication projects when I get free time at work? Yeah, Robogami. That sounds awesome. I would love more representation of craft on Twitch. If there's one thing that gives me some amount of hope, is that like YouTube videos of people just being really good at a physical skill or at a trade still do really well on YouTube. Like somebody just working a wood lathe can get millions and millions of videos. I didn't know I already used my double jump. Okay, not a good way to start the fight, but whatever. Shit. Fuck. Fuck. How much damage do you take, dude? That's the other thing that I think would help me is like knowing the specific combos that do just enough damage to kill all of the larger scale demons. I see you down there, Kako. Dang it. I really need you to come up here so I can kill you. There you are. Except you got me while the grenades are reloading. Okay. I got 3 gas. That's a good thing. There's an Arachnotron out there. Oh! Ah, shit! Fuck! Jump over here, please. Jump over here, please. Thank you. Okay, this is the fight that has 2 Arachnotrons! Shit! Shit! Shit. That was stupid. Bad positioning. I didn't prioritize targets right. I have to start all over! It's just getting dashed. Damn it! That's so silly. That whole fight was just awkward.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure.
I know.
All the wickedness.
I don't get to dash anymore, I know.
Can produce,
Stop rubbing it in.
we will send unto them only
Plasma rifle at 2 charge can break the Doom Hunter's shield, then you only need 2 multi-rockets.
until it is done.
Yeah. Is that on Nightmare? When I get to the Doom Hunters, that will be useful.
Located the priest signal. I will mark it on your HUD.
How far was that? Halfway through the 2nd level. Meh. How far have I gotten? I've gotten to the 3rd level. 4th level? No, I got into the 4th level a couple of times. Oh, okay, it's Nightmare. Alright. I got into the 4th level a couple of times, but both times weirdly died to some bullshit. I mean, it's always some bullshit, but especially those times it was some bullshit. Dude. Yeah. Oh, Big Sig 666. Thank you for the sub, by the way. I saw that pop up, but I didn't thank you properly. Look the demons and don't die. Man, I'm trying. I am trying. Yeah, I missed a few important shots there. I was choking. If I had gotten his big old gun with one of those zoom in shots that I missed, it wouldn't have been an issue. Hey, Andrew. Thank you for the resub. Why don't I have 3 fuel? Ah, god damn it. I did not pick up the fuel in the first room after using one. Alright. Okay, then. And I don't have the right thingy attached yet. So if you like can empty all the shells into an Arachnotron, it looks like it's 8 shells. If you get them all on point. Barrel. What happened to Rocket Arena? I played it. I played it for a little bit, and then I wanted to play Doom. That's all. Hey, Gamer X29. How are you? Gaming, I hope. Can the turtles hurt? Can turtles hurt? Turtles. I mean, turtles can snap, right? They got little chompy mouths. In conclusion, my 3rd grade science fair experiment says yes, turtles hurt. Get up! Okay. Did you enjoy the new Paper Mario? What I played of it, yeah. I played about the first 2 hours or so. I liked it. I'm curious what the potential of the battle mode is. Oh, I should not have done that. Oh, crap. Oh, I'm just ruining everything right now. Whatever. It's an experimental run now. Yeah, snapping turtles are angry motherfuckers. What? Have you ordered the origami sheets that come with the physical Paper Mario? No. I bought digital, baby. That's a cool idea, though. Does it, like, come with a voucher or something? Turtles like to bite. That's all they've got. Turtles can bite, and they can waddle, and they can pull into their shell. So snapping turtles are legit dinosaurs. Yeah, That's cool to see. I do like watching turtles eat fruit, though. A turtle chomping on a strawberry. Now that's cute. That's cute as shit right there. Oh, but digital on the Nintendo website gives you free code for the origami stuff in the mail. No, I don't think that promotion's happening in the United States. Shipping's probably a lot more expensive. One of the glories of having a country with a smaller landmass. You get little goodies like that. Alright, current plan. I'm going to shoot his gun off, change mod, and then auto fire. Okay, that seemed to work. Except there's that... Fuck. Hey! Dude, just die already. Okay. New Kanye album announced. Great. This is his campaign album. Good lord. How you feeling about Shadow Warrior 3? I'm really hopeful for it because I'm missing that Duke Nukem edge. I mean, I like the developer a lot. I like Shadow Warrior 1 a lot. I wasn't a super huge fan of their pivot to like looter shooter kind of style, but you know, I'm glad they at least... If they wanted to try new stuff, then I support that. I am kind of hoping that Shadow Warrior 3 will be more of a kind of linear action game. But I did like the mechanics in the remake quite a bit. They were using a lot of ideas that I think got... Well, the ideas didn't get adapted into, like, Doom Eternal, but... I love the idea of playing around with the mechanics of a fast arena shooter. That game specifically had a lot of cool stuff going on with the sword, or katana, whose name I can't remember at the moment. But it's something. It's like a 4-syllable thing. I gotta play that game again more. Mitsudo Kage or something like that? I don't know. Something like that. Hey! Oh, Serious Sam is good. Serious Sam is much... It's a game that almost with intent does not try to mess with arena shooter mechanics. Yobitsura Kage. I think that's it. That sounds close. I'll accept it. Oh right, there's another one. Oi! 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 How did he not hit me at all? That was weird. Oh, I don't have any ammo. I think there's one more fuel, so in this level, so I want to save that for the other fight room if I can. Which is not a survivable way to play this game, but that's what I'm doing it. Captain Slayer, hey! Thanks for converting to a sub. Big ol' sub there. Oh. Yeah, Serious Sam 4, or Serious Sam as a series, has never really been about a really powerful and unified aesthetic. It's more about how many enemies can they shove at you at once. And I guess Serious Sam 4 can have like tens of thousands of enemies. Cool. Why not? That sounds like the proper kind of escalation for that series.
To thank you for your support during this transition. Suffering continues to
Have you tried Hyperscape? No, I have it installed. Now that it's an open beta. But no, I have not played it yet. That's weird. Spawned facing me that time. It's gotta be a special Doom level, right? I can't tell what's dead. Okay, oh! Oh, there wasn't a... Wow. Forgot that guy spawned back there. I'm surprised I lived. Seriously, I need to go back to the OG art style instead of the realistic COD style it uses now? Well, you mean for Serious Sam 3, yeah. I mean, 2 was not the COD style, and First Encounter didn't really, like, have much of an art style? So I don't know, the series has kind of been all over the map when it comes to, like, aesthetic. I don't know, the world of Serious Sam is not a vibrant place for me. It's just where I go to shoot some assholes. Oh boy. I need bullets. Did I kill all of the zombies in here? Oh, here's some. What's your take on Paper Mario Origami King? I only played a couple hours, but I mean the music is A+. The writing was starting to ease into more absurd stuff, more goofy, wacky stuff. So I enjoyed it. I'm very much looking forward to playing more of it. And yet here I am playing Doom Eternal. I don't know. I could feel my my Doom skills slipping. So if I'm ever gonna beat this game, I got to make sacrifices. And one of those is that instead of playing any number of hot releases that came out on Friday, I'm playing an old-ass game instead. Shit. First and second encounter had a level of cartoonishness I liked. 2 was too cartoony, and then 3 course corrected too hard. I think 4 is closer. Okay, so you liked you liked like Serious Sam 2? Yeah, 2 was pretty goofy. I'm not sure that I was a big fan of that either. I do agree, though. When I started playing Serious Sam 3, I was like, what? For a game that was, like, weird and quirky and kind of, like, very old school in its sensibilities about shooting and, like, you know, it's one of those games that had a room with all the developers wandering around with big heads in it. Like, that kind of game doesn't feel like Serious Sam 3 did. It just felt like Serious Sam 3 kind of lost its goofiness. But yeah, I think it was just maybe a Crow Team's own behest. They were trying to make the game more approachable. You never know where those things come from. Sometimes developers are very willing to make certain aesthetic compromises to try and get people to pay attention to their game.
The con maker is nearby.
Oh, the actual reason the Crow Team was contracted to make a military shooter, but the deal fell through. Oh wow! So they were trying to make a COD, but then it fell through. So they're like, screw it, let's just turn it into Serious Sam 3.
The gathering of Hell Priests beasts is located just
Interesting.
above your location.
Yeah, the later levels become much more
There is a list
Serious
of
Sam.
this facility.
Just like open valleys that just fill with enemies, and then you run backwards for 20 minutes shooting everything. Ronan Muster. Hey man, how's it going? Welcome. Welcome to a stream of moderate takes and extreme gaming skill.
The con maker is present at this gathering, but when
A challenge that doesn't require you to commit is no challenge at all. I like that. I like that attitude. Oh, they had to make money off those assets somehow. That makes sense. That makes sense. And it really, again, does fly in the face of this notion that, like,
equipment launcher, the flame
developers go into this, like, Tony Stark-esque VR room and they craft a game and everything intentionally placed just so to create an alternate reality for gamers to play in. The reality is so much more rickety and circumstantial than that. Very small team with not much money, yeah. I love Crow Team. Talos Principle was amazing.
when you are.
They don't? No. It's like that one girl in Blade Runner 2049 with her, like, dream sculptor. That's what game development is like. That's what you use to tighten up graphics. Alright, Exultia. Here we go. I'm gonna get a dash, and I'm gonna get some guns, and I'm gonna kill everything. I'm gonna kill it all. Remember last time we were here? Remember? I was waxing philosophic about public works projects. Ah. Felt like so long ago. What a time. Oh, Utilisam, the hourglass thing? I have an hourglass on my desk, but it's only visible. Oh, Jesus, sorry. Got a random coffee. Now I want coffee. When I am playing The Witcher, I set up a secondary webcam on my desk to point at a candle that I have on my desk. Why is there a candle? Because candles are cool. And for a while I was like, oh, fantasy game, I'll set the ambiance with a candle. And I was like, well, I have another webcam, why not show it to the stream? And then I also have this hourglass, and it was just in the background, so I just added a channel command to flip it. That's all. Not too much to it, but it is confusing. Okay, so remember when I said if I had hit those shots on that Arachnotron, I might still be alive? I feel like that's what this is for. Specifically what this is for. Although, why is it 25,000 points? Because people have a lot of channel points. Okay, so let me do something here. Let me turn the rune display back on. So, the rune goes away when I zoom in. That's not great. Is there a way to change that? Okay, and now you can see it. Okay, what I think happened before is the rune would be almost empty, and I'd look at it and it wouldn't be charging, and I'd be like, "What the heck's going on?" It's weird. It's frustrating that you can't. It wipes that UI element when you zoom in. I think that's an effect of having a dot cursor. Okay, and then that's schwump. Is it coming back? Okay. Why is anything anything when it could be something instead? It's the dot cursor? Yeah, I think you're right. I think they wisely or reasonably assumed that anyone using the dot cursor wants as little as possible on the screen while aiming. That was stupid. That worked him though. I was like, I thought it was silly to use the blood punch that way, but you know what? Everything worked out. Dude. Cheeky little move by the Kako. Jesus! Happy feet and me all over the place. What a jerk. What a loser. Hold on a second. I was thinking when you talked over game dev or any creative endeavor. Let me check on this. Goodreads. Goodreads.com. Ah. Oh yes, yeah, that I guess that quote has come back into notoriety because of the whole like what, Troy Baker thing? People dunking on that, just let's be honest, shitty ass take that like that Last of Us is the Schindler's List of gaming or whatever. God. Horrible reference, but yeah, kind of people dunking on that, and then people being like, "Well, wait a minute, no, come on." What a weird back and forth that was. No, okay, so no, Troy Baker didn't say that. A writer for IGN compared The Last of Us to Schindler's List. Like, if blank is the blank of games, then this is the Schindler's List of games. Horrible line, horrific line. Like, really like kind of pulling your pants down about how unwell read you are about any kind of media, making a comparison like that. But I think and then like people were snarking about that line a lot, and then I think like Neil Druckmann got on the action and was like, "Don't appreciate the snark" or something. I don't remember the exact back and forth, but yes, then Troy Baker shared that quote as response, which honestly I think is true. For the sake of people who aren't following chat, it is a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." Basically saying that like critics, the role of a critic is and I think like I think the opposite of that is sort of the monologue at the end of Ratatouille, which is a really good pairing with that sentiment. I do agree that, I mean, I guess maybe it probably extends to most circles, but I'm only really familiar with it in gaming. My God, do gaming critics typically have very little idea what it's like to develop a game, and honestly, because of that, very little respect for the process, which I don't think makes them great critics. And certainly, I think if you were to compare the artistic eloquence of comparing The Last of Us Part 2 to Schindler's List, alongside that craft of making the whole game, one of those requires much more effort than the other. Make game better. Now that's how to do it. The thing that I know Troy Baker takes VA seriously, but I don't know if to compare him. No, that wasn't the case, Chubra. I think in context, you know, Troy Baker was there on set and had talked to all the creators and was clearly creatively on board with what the game was trying to do. And meanwhile, you have a critic with a pretty bad take. who was getting his feelings hurt that people were dogpiling on him. Find critics too black and white. Games are either perfect or not worth playing. Yeah, that's just a byproduct of the fact that games criticism is its own product. It's funny how people will simultaneously defend how games journalism was better back in the day, but then say that like outlets are awful now. The idea is that if you work for an outlet, it should give you abstraction. Like, you get paid either way, which should free you to be more honest about your opinions. But if you're an independent YouTuber, and you're reviewing The Last of Us Part 2, there's definitely pressure there to push your opinion a little bit further to either extreme, because when somebody's looking at a list of YouTube videos, and one is like, here's a nuanced and complicated take on The Last of Us, and the other one says, The Last of Us is absolute SJW trash, 95% of people are going to click on the extreme take. They're just gonna, that's just how people are. And it always annoys me when people don't acknowledge that, like, for the people who are supposedly outside the system and thus more honest, they're actually much more financially motivated to be extreme and actually bias their opinions on behalf of the audience. Yeah, it's okay, does not get as many clicks. So you could argue that that's an algorithm problem, but really it's just a human perception problem. And it kind of bums me out when people who profess to be staunch supporters of games criticism will then argue in favor of the most biased critics merely because they appeal to their own personal biases. But again, that's just human nature. It's not entertaining or satisfying to have somebody say, yeah, it's okay. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's part of why I don't really want to be in the games media space so much anymore. It is a place that is actively drawn down by like the bigger names that got to be the bigger names by like, that's the real race to the bottom, really, as far as I'm concerned. And I honestly believe too that a lot of that process is organic. People get praise heaped upon them. They get views and likes and all that, and money and ad views and all sorts of things for their extreme takes. So that's the validation that, oh, this must be good content. I must be doing it right. And then like, and that's when making good content and making content that appeals to everyone become the same thing in people's minds, because bad critics never really think about the nature of what they're doing or the goal of what they're doing. I would argue most is too strong, but a lot of the more prolific, and definitely a lot of the more negative-leaning YouTube creators aren't really doing criticism. They're just making entertainment products that are derivative off of other entertainment products.
Your ship.
I think I have a
Several modules remain
bump on the back of my neck. Weird.
Finding more batteries will enable you to utilize the full functions of the
Yeah.
command station.
All this quote-unquote corruption came about way more organically than people realize. It's not even corruption. It's honestly the system working as intended. I don't care what the report is saying as long as they've actually played through the game. So many have not. Yeah, Utilisam, that can be an issue. So that's a problem compounded by a lot of factors. And it's not the person being lazy. Sometimes it is, but most often not finishing a game or not putting enough time into it is a factor of getting the game late, having like 2 to 3 days before embargo's up, and again, that the result of your coverage is a product. And if your product's not first, then people are going to click on the thing that's first. So sometimes, yeah, you have to sacrifice having an exhaustive take or finishing a game for hitting embargo time or hitting press time or being one of the first 5 to upload on YouTube. There are some creators that can come out late and people will wait for them. Angry Joe. Like, he'll put out his reviews like a month late and people will still watch it. But he has to invest a lot in his productions to do it. Oh, it's pronounced Ultisam, not Utilisam? Oh, you're right. There's no I in there. Okay, Ultisam. Sorry about that. Thank you for correcting me. Ah! Dang it. Walked over a little bit of stuff. The problem is video game criticism is linked to video game specific publications which rely on video game specific advertising. You can't be in that situation and not feel the pressure. That's actually way less of an issue than, I would say, YouTubers getting paid directly based on how many views they get. In my experience, which is not exhaustive, in traditional games media, there's never any advertising blowback for the content of a magazine. Advertisers typically don't care. They only care about your circulation numbers, which has more to do with how your magazine is marketed and presented than it does the content itself. Game Informer didn't get its circulation because of the quality of its content. It got it because GameStop pushed it in all their stores and tied it to their promotions programs. So, like, truly, the content of a review is not as important as anyone thinks. Marketing is so much more important. Marketing, brand recognition, those things sell way more copies than a good review. It's in fact quite rare that a game is wholly reviewed negatively and then it tanks as a result. It'll put a dent in something, but like, I don't know. That part of the process is not as material as people seem to think. That's the other side of the coin. Yeah, honestly, really, and Alana said this in her video about reviews, but the bigger problems with like traditional reviews is it's kind of, you want to say other side of the coin. People on staff get so disconnected from, this is going to sound weird, but they get so disconnected from their readers that they stop writing reviews for their readers and write them for other writers instead, because those are the people they talk to. And they want to be like the talk of the town and put out some like smart thoughts that make everyone be like, wow, that guy's smart. That's usually the issue, is that writers get comfy and pretentious. And that doesn't really have anything to do with money either. It's more just what their focus is, which again leads me back to a lot of games critics not really coming from any like fundamental bedrock of understanding about what criticism is or what the purpose of their review is. And yeah, academia writes for academics too. Yeah. Oh, you gotta go? All right, well, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I even and I've referenced this a couple times, but I remember being in a staff once or on a group with somebody who was doing that. Like, and this was before I knew it was a thing, and I called it out, and I'm like, why are you talking about other writers in regards to who received your review? And he's like, no, it's a normal thing to write for other reviewers, and like that like circle jerk circle of video game opinions mattered. And I was like, dude, that is the grossest thing I think I've ever heard you say. And he just shrugged and didn't care. He was not one of the good ones, and is not around anymore. But yeah, there's a lot of people who just want to be like video game tastemakers more than they want to like either appraise the game that they're being assigned to appraise, or provide research material for prospective buyers. I feel like that's sort of the dual purpose of a review, is to be a simultaneous like low grade art criticism, but functional product review for people to make a purchasing decision based off of. All my homies hate DJ Academics. Yeah. He's an asshole. He keeps playing music that's not in 4/4. How are you supposed to dance to that? What an asshole. They want to be seen as Ebert or Roper without the perspective? Yeah. Yes, that's very smart. I think part of it too is they want to ensure that they have like a legacy or a career. I think it's like it's this weird cascade of objectives. When you first start, all you want to do is get paid to play video games, or I think to some degree getting like video game renown and getting to hang out with, getting the validation that comes along with hanging out with video game celebrities is part of it too, which is why sometimes interviews have such a weird tone, when clearly it's like the interviewee is just geeking out at the developer instead of actually trying to ask them interesting questions. I think some people do see it as a way to get into like video game elite circles to get games for free.
You can use it to activate the mech and clear a path forward.
That's a big deal in the early days. I remember a lot of drama based around where review copies were going, and the fact that like the one of the websites I worked for, their policy was that all review copies went to like the website owner, and he didn't do any of the management for the website. He just owned it. He just bought the domain and like hired other people to run it. So he would like get all these review copies and he would like play them and then send them out for review. So I remember we'd get review copies and they wouldn't show up at people's places for like weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks. And I started looking into it because at the time I was the reviews director of that particular website. And I was like, what's going on? Like, why can't we hit embargo for these reviews? And they would get really cagey about it. And the dude didn't want to admit that he was just basically playing through all these games for free before mailing them out to other writers. And I was like, dude, this is getting in the way of like our ability to produce content. But that's what he was in the game for. So cool. Yeah, I guess it's not that surprising then that people have ulterior motivations a lot. I think what happens a lot with writers who've been doing it for 5 to 10 years is they start to feel unsatisfied by the endless churn of get game, review it, preview game, do interview. It's a pretty templated job after a while, and while to some degree it is a challenge each time you write about a new game to find a way to succinctly and elegantly express its soul to people. I think a lot of writers like find out that they didn't plan beyond getting games for free, once they find out that once they get a lot of games for free and the allure of that wears off, and once they do some interviews with developers and the allure of that wears off, and once they go to a few parties and the allure of that wears off, then I feel like they start to worry about like career and legacy and things like this. And that's when you get people writing books and writing like more heady, introspective, socially motivated articles, because I feel like, and this is a big supposition on my part, but I feel like part of that is wanting your work to mean more than just telling people what toy to buy. Like how RT started and you realize you can't just tear apart a game you were given for free. Oh wait, did that happen with Rooster Teeth or something? I mean, you can. I think the question's like, when it comes to that, about like addressing negative coverage, is it's really going to be like, the only situations I've seen like that is when it really does seem like a review was uncharacteristically negative. Oh, Drunk Gamer Story. They rolled company. You might have to try again on that one. Once they learn it's an actual job, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. There's that itch that starts to roll up with a lot of the writers that I knew that were in the game for a while. Like, once you pass that first cutoff, you work for free for a few years and you don't hit burnout there, and you work the job for a few years and you hit burnout there. Their old company? Oh, no. I thought they worked at a call center before that. I mean, it's an obnoxious bastard. He can't shut me up about a game I'm playing even when I'm not being paid for it. While it's someone who wouldn't do that if that's their profession. It's hard to wrap around that mentality for sure, but I kind of get it. I mean, I definitely get the, like, if you're a few years into your work, or you're in your mid to late 30s, exactly where I am, and you start to wonder about, well, if I'm gonna do this 8 to 10 hours a day, where's it all going? Do I want my entire career to be, shit. I don't want to use it yet though. Yeah, that was bad. That was all bad. Not good. Not good. Fuck. Fuck it, I'll just use it. Fuck! No! Why Why did I have the autoloader on? Fuck that mod. Buh. Same fight. Damn it. That's vexing. A tonsil stone popped out. Cool. Man.
Against all the evil that hell can conquer.
So much work to get back to that one fight. God.
All the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them.
Oh, Philip Miuchin.
Only you
So that's interesting too, because a lot of people get into writing,
and tear
but they don't care about writing.
until it is done.
They're not trained writers. They don't write ever, unless they have to. They have no respect for the craft of writing. It's just seen as that's the way you get in. I guess now it's YouTubing.
I've just located
But-
the signal. I will mark it on your HUD.
Yeah, it's not shocking to me that a novice writer, and this happened to me a lot. I mean, you used to see it a lot in video game reviews, is that bad writers would read other people's reviews and then just start copying their phrases because they weren't writers and didn't read anything but game reviews and game articles. So there was almost this weird internal vocabulary that started building with games reviewers. I always worry that a lot of the anti-games critic sentiment brushes a little uncomfortably close to the anti-intellectualism and any real disagreement with the critical read of the themes of the game. That's true. I think the people who get the most heated about game reviews also are not even, like, they're not even really looking at games on that level, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, actual games criticism was stuff like PBS Game Show, Kill Screen Mag, like Paste. Edge magazine had a lot of good stuff. But again, a lot of that stuff is a little too quiet and cerebral for the angry gamers. I don't think it's quite the same thing as anti-intellectualism as it is a bunch of gamer bros who were weaned and cut their teeth on a certain kind of game and told by marketing for years that they were the only gamer that mattered. Now feeling like the space that they dominate is being taken over by people who were actually there all along, just never said anything. That's my take. Which I can get. It's not right, but I can get it. The problem is that I don't...
The demonic consumption of Earth has
I don't know that there's really...
36 point...
And... There are a few very good games commentators, games analyzers, games writers, but by far the majority of them are, you know, journeymen who picked up writing as an afterthought because it was the thing to do, or picked up video production as an afterthought because this is how to get clout or how to get visibility and how to make money, really. Okay, I've got my three chainsaw fuel. Everything's fine. Damn it! Fuck, there's grit on my mouse pad now. Writers want to talk about the cultural implications and depth of the game. Readers sometimes want to know if it's buggy or if the combat is fun. This creates friction. I mean, not all writers do that. I think the particular kind of writer that I mentioned would do that, but I think by and large, most reviews from big outlets these days are not focused on cultural matters as much as angry gamers like to paint it as. Truly, there were a couple of examples from years past, but it's like, you know, of the hundreds and hundreds of reviews that an outlet can post, all of which are fairly dry appraisals of a game. Everyone really cinches on the one that happens to mention anything. What, there was like that one review where that dude was playing Yakuza and he physically covered his eyes during the like phone call parts of it. It's like, oof, dude, come on. Yeah, the Doom video, the Cuphead video. Who do you think are the best game critics at the moment? Well, I'm not going to name names because that gets weird. Because then any name by omission is therefore bad. But yeah, there's a weird, incongruous, and utterly incorrect idea that there's this cabal of like angry blue-haired soy boy people who get into games criticism and they don't play games. All they want to do is ruin gamers' good time, which just consider like the last thing I want to do is spend any amount of time with people that get really pissed off about game reviews. So the idea that I would go out of my way to antagonize them because I want to for some reason is just that's me speaking personally, but really anybody. The idea that anyone would on a whim with intent try and piss off the most reactionary and unpleasant people on the internet is a little interesting. Wow. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing this. I'm not getting anywhere. God, I just ate all 4 of those. Is it bad that no matter how many of the games I've tried and the couple I've fully completed, I can't get over the feeling that Kojima's overrated?
All the wickedness that
I mean, by some, yeah. But how many other game directors can you name that have been working for 30 years and have made some of gaming's most highest quality games and most recognizable games? Shigeru Miyamoto kind of goes up there. Aonuma. Ed Boon. You name them all? No, there's more. They just don't typically get their name out there. Yeah, Sid Meier. I mean, there's Will Wright, but he's kind of in like Toy Research now. Sakaguchi, Sakaguchi's had some hit and misses, but he's been working pretty steadily. Carmack's been missing in action for like 20 years. I mean, here's the problem is like starting this conversation is flawed to begin with because no game is made by one person. But I like the problem is here's the vexing problem is that Kojima made games that have like kind of goes back to the bro culture of it all. Kojima made games that like had the emotional relevance of an 80s action movie, which I think was what a lot of teen boys could wrap their heads around when they were discovering emotions for the first time. So, given that Kojima was the first one to like make them feel anything other than minimal happiness and delight, they like, I guess overrated in that case is probably the accurate word, but I think he's proven his clout as a game director more times than he hasn't. I mean, if you want context, take a look at what happened. See, it's funny you mentioned Cliffy B, because that didn't happen. Let's hey, you know what? Perfect comparison. Kojima, Cliffy, both left companies to start new studios. Kojima, in 3 years, made a game that was, you know, Metal Gear Solid 1 through 3 are not legit great stories, Strelic. Don't even come here with that. Do not even start to say that Metal Gear Solid has a good story. Solid 3 is probably the best, and it's about as good as a middling Bond film. If you just look at the story. You're going to tell me Metal Gear Solid 2 has a good story? That Metal Gear Solid 1 has a good story? Given that every one of the plot beats was lifted from Escape from New York? Come on. Come on. It was well told, but it wasn't a good story. Please. Please. It fit the medium. Man, y'all gotta take in some better art if you think Metal Gear 1 through 3. Anyway, Cliffy left. He made a game. He made it, but I wouldn't say it was near the like sophistication and quality of work as that, and it flopped pretty fast. And then he tried to rush out a Battle Royale. Didn't get any funding, and that was that. Are we back on the name a game with good story discussion? Not yet. Not yet.
The first Hell Priest has been terminated. The demonic consumption of Earth has been reduced by 36.8%.
There's like... I'm reminded of like the monologue at the end of Metal Gear Solid 1. You have to live, Snake. Decide what your life is for and live. Are you serious? I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but it's not good. Fucking Snake fighting his twin brother shirtless on top of a robot. I'm sorry. Like, it's okay to love Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear. I do. There we go. That actually worked. Yeah, Lawbreakers was fun. It wasn't a bad game. But, like, there's so much more material and texture to it. Also, I'm gonna guess that the Kojima Productions probably has a higher head count than Bosky did. And a big part of being a game director that no one's ever gonna talk about is, like, staff management, production duties, all the things that aren't interesting to video games. Again, everyone wants to think about an auteur who's sitting with like a dream-weaving capsule creating a whole reality, but you gotta do payroll, you gotta like schedule people's time off, you gotta... I mean, I'm not saying that Kojima did all that stuff, but managing a lot of people is not trivial. I feel like I should play Metal Gear Solid. Oh, people would hate me for that. If I played Metal Gear Solid and, like, tried to implore people to think about the dialogue in a vacuum. Because, woof. Also, man, even the story setup. You have to go kill your twin brother, and he's working with genetically modified super soldiers that all have superpowers. Play Metal Gear Survive. That's the real answer. That's the only game to play. So, yeah, it's not to point out garbage. Like, Metal Gear Solid isn't garbage. It is, however, a collection of 80s action movie cliches. It's a gleeful gamer, or it's a gleeful game, but it's not like... It's not the high art that people reference it being. It is, I mean, it's... I would say it's like... I mean, John Carpenter references continue. It's got about the story sophistication of, like, Big Trouble in Little China. Not a bad movie. But I don't know that you'd rank it up there with, like, cinema's greatest. Yeah, not Schindler's List. What's not hired about Crocodile Hat? Crocodile Hat's pretty sick. I mean, shit, dude. And this is coming from, like, when I beat Metal Gear Solid 1, like, I listened to The Best Is Yet to Come on my stupid MP3 player a lot. I think I got pretty teary-eyed at the end of Metal Gear Solid 1 the first time. I was also 14 years old. I would most definitely play a Kojima game whose main character is Kurt Russell. Metal Gear Solid 2. He has the mullet and everything. His name is Pliskin. They're not even being subtle. This is Snake. Yeah, right. Also, the whole thing... Jeez, just the... Like, we've injected you with a virus that you have to transmit to the bad guy. You were set up, Snake. Like, it's right there. Alright. Yeah. How many
is a necessary step on the path to a brighter tomorrow.
Hello, Dabs Yuck. Anyway, I apologize. I apologize. I feel bad when people get silent in chat. Oh shit. Oh, okay, so the spawn trigger for him. Aye! Hey! Yeah. Okay. Well, that could have been cleaner, but it happened. People give video games bad reputations because the most popular games aren't high art, but don't treat movies the same way even the highest grossing movies Avengers. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's fine. I feel like that analog is appropriate, you know? Avengers isn't a bad movie. But, like, its writing is good because it's functional. It serves a purpose, it tells an enjoyable but broadly palatable story. And the writing seeks to, like, provide you with emotional catharsis, emotional intensity, comic relief. Like, it does all these things in a very elegant and smooth flow, and that's what makes the writing good. But it's not, you know, attempting to say anything profound or reveal anything profound about the human condition. Because it's not trying to. I feel like that's kind of true of Metal Gear. I feel like, and this is the thing that's really going to twist people up. I feel like of all of his games, Death Stranding is probably the one that is the best written. In the sense that its concepts and its lore and its world give you a lot more to think about. And have a lot of... The very end of Solid 2 had some commentary about digital information systems, but it was all delivered in a nearly nonsensical monologue from malfunctioning AI characters in a codec call. So, you know, take a penny, leave a penny on that one. Whereas Death Stranding not only created a ridiculously original world, but also layered gameplay systems on top of it that reinforced the themes of that world. I'm not going to tell you that makes it good, but that definitely makes it register on a certain scale that a lot of games usually don't. Love that cardboard rocket launcher, man, that's good. There's a monologue at the end of 5. I never finished 5. Solidus. Oh, that's right, yeah. Good old Solidus. Kojima didn't invent America. Maybe he did. Maybe he's just that good at game design. Death Stranding is the most focused message, I would think. Yeah. I agree, Sinwar. Games as a medium have to be analyzed in their own way according to their medium. I think that's something that can be agreed upon. Games set out to do certain things, but it isn't a pure writing medium, so it has a lot more to think and worry about and express creativity in. It's like a movie versus a radio podcast. You got to paint a picture for your audience on radio as opposed to just showing one. I don't know. I think the mechanics of art are just as fucking cool as the art itself. 100%. 100%. So yeah, in that regard, the Metal Gear Solid has good writing. Because okay, how about this? A game's writing is good if it reinforces the themes of the gameplay and contributes to the game's intended and helps evoke the game's intended emotional state while playing. And in that regard, I think, yeah, I can agree that 1 and 3 had good writing, 2 had interesting ideas. I guess you could maybe throw some bits up for like 2's commentary on game sequels and the expectations people might have for them. Oh boy. BioShock 1, yeah, I don't know. BioShock 1 had the thing. But apart from that... yeah. I'm trying to remember the beats of the story after the big twist. Also, I feel like as much as games are all about celebrating the like power and, you know, that very Ayn Rand sort of celebration of self and exaltation of self, video games are all about you and your actions in a world that's constructed to knock around in. People that really like BioShock still really vibe on the exceptionalism of the individual idea.
Thank you for your support during this transformation. Your suffering.
The book's writing is entirely for the book because a book is all writing. A game's writing kind of needs to not stand on its own. It kind of should be there to support the end product. That is the whole game. I mean, anything can be made and be made good, but that's how I feel. Yeah. Cranky, thank you for the sub. Why do we need a Metal Gear Solid movie? We already have the Escape movies. By the way, never finished Metal Gear Solid 5 or Death Stranding. Former just got too repetitive and the latter I'll finish someday. That's kind of how I feel. Yeah. I guess the difference is if you don't get that sweet validation of a popular game also being a popular movie. Yeah, just imagine Metal Gear Solid being a movie and trying to take it seriously. Just imagine it. Like, I would want to watch that movie, but it wouldn't be a serious movie. I think the game works because it is so self-serious, but like, you really want to have a main grizzled war man who has no personality at all grumble his way through like super powered genetically modified dudes and like not have a nod and a wink to it. Like, imagine Vulcan Raven in a movie. Him walking into frame in a giant freezer with a bunch of ravens circling around him, and you're expected to take it seriously. Worked for the new Mad Max. Fury Road didn't have that setup. You mean just Mad Max or Max as a character? I mean, that's true. Yeah. God damn it. Hey, what's hitting me, man? I'm just getting popped by everything right now. Oh, shit. Alright. I was nearly sure I got that one, but I did not. I think the you'd have to change it up a little bit, but like Max works because Max is rarely alone, and when he is, it's like in Road Warrior. It's for a very stylized sort of intro, where you do set up all your dramatic tension otherwise. But Fury Road works because you're pairing him with other people. So for that to work in a Metal Gear Solid movie or show, you'd have to have him with Meryl the whole time. Which they did in the game a little bit, before she caught a bullet and then disappeared. Spoilers, I guess. God. Fury Road was Miller not caring about the concept of canon. Just make a story, and that's a good thing. I mean, clearly, yeah. Were there ways that, like, Fury Road violated Mad Max canon? I guess I never really thought about it. Consider watching a Hitman series if it was written well enough. That would be strange. I feel like Hitman is weird because they like there's this almost disdain that, or it's almost like Grand Theft Auto vibes of like everyone in the world of Hitman is a bumbling asshole, and they're all just like they're all consumed with their shitty tiny little lives and their crappy ass little problems. Which is fun because you get to observe this all as Agent 47, and you have your own thing going on, and you don't live in their world, and you get to see just how pathetic and small all these people's lives are, and then you basically use that to kill them. So a show like that would be interesting where each week you have some idiot that ends up getting undone by their own designs. Motherfucker, all I wanted to do was drink some water. Yeah! Oh, I should have chainsawed one of those guys. Oh, look at this. Ah. Oh, Max is a folklore hero. Can be interpreted. Yeah, Papa Jesus, I'm going to Doom for a little while longer. I've not been having good matches. I think I'm rusty or something. It's unfortunate how I've been playing today. Keep dying at the same stupid thing on the second level. I've only got enough tolerance to die like that one more time, I think. Aye, what? Oh, instead of getting caught up in all lore, no story. Which everything does these days. I see what you mean. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a weird dynamic when, like, there are people on the internet who lose their minds if lore is not respected. It's like the non-stop people holding Pete Hines responsible for an inconsistency in, like, Fallout lore. That may not be a thing anymore, but boy was it ever for a while. Why I had that on? Get out of here.
The Khan Maker is nearby. She is inside that demonic citadel. I will mark her location on your HUD.
In Doom Eternal, he has his rabbit's right foot, but in Doom 1 it was the left foot cannon ruined. Refund game. I will now pirate you.
The gathering of Hell Priests is located just above your...
Oh, the Brotherhood of Steel thing? I thought it was related to, like, when Jet was created.
Facility.
Fallout games until 76 anyway are great. Brotherhood of Steel wasn't so good. I think there was also, like, a platforming action game on PS2 that was not good. Also, my hot take is that Fallout 4 is actually a pretty not good game. But that's me. Man, you want to talk about nothing writing. Holy crap. Wow. Nothing writing and nothing gameplay. That's me, though. Sorry. 3 and 4 are also bad. 3 still had some of the spirit of the older games that I can remember, but maybe that was just the glitz and glamour.
Your equipment launcher. The flame...
You recently 100%ed Fallout 4? Man. Yeah, I just could not convince myself to keep playing it. Everything, like, the gameplay didn't matter, the story decisions didn't matter. Nothing mattered. Everybody loves sucking New Vegas's dick. Yeah, that's interesting. Played Fallout 1, 2, Tactics, 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4.
Ready when you are.
Forgot about Tactics, yeah. Well, I thought that wasn't that the Brotherhood of Steel game? I tried to play that, but I didn't finish it. Good part of Fallout 4 is how good of a survival sandbox it is in survival difficulty. That may be. Let me tell you, I did not want a survival sandbox game out of Fallout, but I could see it. Like, it was the age of Minecraft. Why not? You know? But that's what always makes my shoulders sag a little bit, when a franchise just starts absorbing gameplay elements that are just popular. That's when it's like, okay, we're just making something popular. We're not making something that's, like, unified in gameplay style or writing or story or any of that. Nope. It's just an amalgam of what's working right now. That stuff is not quite for me. That's how we got Fortnite? Eh? No, it's not. No, it's not. Nothing about Fortnite, well, very little about Fortnite was popular when Fortnite hit. Fortnite's initial mode was more like what is popular now, but... Oh, do you mean specifically the Battle Royale aspect? Because I can agree with that, but... What other games had, like, spontaneous building and stuff like that that you would use in conjunction with, like, pretty full arena shooting mechanics? I don't know. I think Fortnite worked because it actually had a skill ceiling And there was more like high-end gameplay to it than PUBG. It also moved faster, but I see what you mean though. Yeah, I mean, there was an aspect of like we're gonna wrap in the battle royale thing, but oh, Sanctuary, yeah, like tower defense, those games. All right, I see your point. Yeah, you're right about the battle royale thing. I was thinking more about the actual concrete gameplay mechanics of Fortnite inside of the battle royale concept. Fortnite's not a bad game. Fortnite is not a bad game. I mean, of all the games that could be popular, I'm glad Fortnite is it. I would rather like people be playing Fortnite than like Farmville, which was the hotness for a while. Gotcha. It originated from trend chasing. The high-level decision did. I think there was enough effort put into the craft of Fortnite to make it stand out above that, but yeah. PUBG's overrated and it boggles me to know it's still one of the top played in games on Steam. Yeah, I don't know why I picked that up. Yeah, it's other regions, non-US regions typically seem to still really vibe on PUBG. You know, that's cool. Good for them. He dropped his fireballs. Oh, Respawn's being made to work on Apex now and not more Titanfall? No, I think they said they're making more Titanfall. Florable Pug. Fortnite also the benefit of being incredibly watchable, which makes streaming super easy. Yeah. Can run on anything. Got an appealing aesthetic. Saying that in terms of market, not necessarily in terms of like any individual's tastes. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think they said specifically it's because of Apex's success that they're allowed to like make more Titanfall games. I may have been reading a little too in between the lines in like an interview though, or something like that. Yeah, and then EA had nothing to do with it. It's weird that like, it's weird how many developers have to come out and be like, no, we did that all on our own. Like with id Software and Denuvo, basically like, no, Bethesda didn't force us to do this. We chose to. Again, it goes back to that weird notion that like everything that's good came from the developers and everything that's bad came from the publisher. Yeah, but Bethesda bad. I mean, they might be. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna switch mods. Fuck. Gonna try to push yourself to play more video games. I don't know that that's something you need to push yourself to. If you don't want to do it, do something else. Bethesda's made some questionable choices recently. I mean, if releasing Fallout 76 at all is one of them, then maybe. But consider that they put out Doom Eternal, which is exactly what everyone says they wanted. You know? Big, chunky, single-player game, no microtransactions, free content updates. Where does the credit for that go? Oh, more BGS specifically? Oh, Bethesda Game Studios. Oh, I see. Was this just in relation to them not, like, announcing or releasing anything? What's that? Does somebody want Skyrim released on something else? Todd is salivating. Yeah, and also isn't Bethesda's putting out Deathloop? That game looks really cool. And shockingly experimental. Yeah. Ah! Trying to think of what else is on Bethesda's release slate. Oh, 76 problem, leaking people's info for one. I didn't know. I'm not familiar with that, actually. Yeah, you asked him, we listened. Skyrim is coming to Samsung Smart Fridge. Deathwire Tokyo. That looks good. What's wrong with that? Or maybe there's nothing wrong with it. Oh, that's just a game that's coming up. Yeah, that looks interesting. You gotta karate chop ghosts with your spectral hands. I'm into it. Looked like it had pretty cool fight, like chop fight mechanics. Get out from behind that. There. Just need a new engine, I guess. They just need a new engine. I think, to some degree, it's very hard to make open world games without having some fuzz get through the cracks. And, like, just blowing away your engine and starting over doesn't mean that you're going to build everything perfectly, the ground up, correctly the first time, you know? That's what they tried last time. And if the problems were simple or easy to diagnose and fix, then they would have. I do agree, though. I think like starting with Skyrim. I remember I had colleagues at the time who were gushing about how good Skyrim looked, and I remember looking at it and being like, that doesn't look good. Like it's got a good aesthetic. It's pretty like visually consistent, but
This sentinel battery can be used
when Skyrim came out, it looked like it was 4 years old.
Several modules remain.
That's what mods are for, but
Finding more batteries will enable
call
you
it
to
76
utilize
first or whatever it's called is pretty
functions of
fucked.
your command station.
How? Tons of MMOs have something like that. Tons of games have battle passes. You don't have to pay for it, right? Or do you? Why upgrade a game engine when you have a loyal fan base, release mods and make the game better and make patches? Yeah, there's that. I severely doubt that somewhere in Bethesda HQ, Todd Howard is slamming a table going, no! The engine's gonna stay bad! Like, it's more like they've been iterating on that engine and adding features to it and fixing bugs for, what, a decade? And it is no trivial thing to say, just throw that all down the toilet and do it again. Like, there's a significant cost associated with that. And that cost ricochets. Having a stable engine platform means you can start making assets and designing a game that's 5 years away. You can't even start doing that if you need to make the engine again. Like, nobody has any tools, no one has nothing. But it's not stable. I mean, even if it crashes every other hour, that's still stable. Man. The height of instability of a game can be real intense. Playing an actual unfinished game, an actually unstable game, is something else entirely. "10 years later and it's still trash. It's a money pit of an engine." Oh man. It's not trash. It is not trash. But that's fine. I can't. There's no way I can convince anyone the magnitude of work that goes into making a game like that, and how nearly impossible it is, especially in an open world game, where like you have the freedom to collect 3,000 cheese wheels and cram it all in a room. With that many interoperating systems, there's gonna be some frayed edges somewhere. I'm trying to think of games that are open world sandbox that are 100% locked in, and Breath of the Wild occurs to me because I think it's honestly because the boundaries of interactivity in that game are a little lower. Like, you don't have to worry about NPCs really. You don't have to worry about dialogue really. There's a lot of things that Breath of the Wild doesn't do that I think help them really lock down their environment simulation. Yeah, technical debt. That's, man. Mini Figon? That's a great term that I'm sure is used all the time, but actually I hadn't heard it before. That's kind of cool. A lot of the like more indie ventures like No Man's Sky or any of the litany of survival games, those are way buggier. Like, and they run way worse. So, like, what was a game on the like technical level of Skyrim that ran on 360?
You can use it to activate the mech and clear a path forward.
Look at Final Fantasy XIV, yeah. They're still doing pretty good on that like engine and tool set, but Fallout 76 first went against their only cosmetic purchase statement. However, I do love first because it started a class uprising of non-first and hunting down first players. That's a good point. They did, yeah, I guess they did make some cultural promises that didn't necessarily jive with. Oh, Elite Dangerous? That's a good point. Elite Dangerous is in space, though. Which means you don't have to render ground or terrain. And I feel like to some degree, not having to simulate gravity means you don't have to check collisions for a million things. Well, you do have to check collisions for things, but like in Skyrim, you have to check collisions and adjust physics for hundreds of objects in a scene all the time. I don't know that that's necessarily applicable to Elite Dangerous, but I haven't played it a lot, so I could be wrong. Yeah, this plasma gun skin is horrible, isn't it? Space Engineers, and that game's buggy as shit. Crashes all the time. You can land on planets and fly on planets? Yeah, but can you, like, knock a ton of things around on that planet all at the same time? They have an entire inertia mechanic. Yeah, well, yeah, Newtonian physics isn't hard to do. I'm just saying for a bunch of tons of free bodies in the same spot. All interacting with each other. That may happen in Elite. Little big planet. Maybe? Alright, here we go. Can I beat my personal best for the goddamn day? Chrono Trigger? Wait, what? No. Talking about like open world sandbox games, of which Chrono Trigger is definitely not, unless you were applying to something else. At most there's like 30 objects around you being simulated. So yeah, like Skyrim has to not only simulate all the physical objects in a scene and keep track of where they are, but binds it to your save and like persists those changes in an open world. Like, I feel like that's just an order of magnitude more complicated. I guess really the fundamental question is what does the Elder Scrolls / Fallout style of gameplay technically better than that game does? Red Dead Redemption 2? Let's get in there. I still feel like items are way more locked down. In terms of, like, the world simulation just has fewer active, loose actors and participants, but Red Dead 2, that's a fair one. GTA 5 was 360? Yeah, GTA 5, yeah, GTA 5's getting closer, but GTA 5 even will reset like physical objects and stuff. I guess I should walk back a little bit. I agree, the engine's busted, but I also don't think it's as simple as make a new one. Like, the same people would be making the new one, as I guess where my head goes. So like, like if they just started over. it's hard for me to see it just magically turning out better this time. I guess what would be more ideal is if they abandoned their own engine and then, like, I don't know, used like Unreal Engine 5 or something and relied on other game, like took shit. God, there's so many. Oh fuck, this is bad. I don't have any shotgun shells, and I have the autoloader on it. Pop that off. Fuck! Okay, well that's that. I didn't know you could die while swinging, but that's for sure. You sure can. Why not just use UE? Then you owe them money. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Screw it. I'm just gonna move on to Beatmania, I think. What a disappointing day, but I guess I should have seen that coming. I've been away from Doom for so long. Great. Well, I got some stuff, so that's something. Got some goodies. Look at that angry little pepper. Yeah, I feel like to beat this. Yeah, they're all permadeath runs. I feel like to beat this, I'm just gonna have to like sit down and do nothing but play this game for an entire month or something. Because what I'm doing, I don't feel like I'm building any cumulative skill, but it feels that way now when I've been away from this game for weeks. So. Ah, well, can't win them all. Okay, give me a second to set up. I'm going to try and cram some things on my desk, and I got to set up my other webcams and things. So, music games coming up. We'll be back in a second. Barnacle Boy, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. And Grim Gonzo, thank you for the Prime. Jellybean, thank you for the Prime. Missed a few there. Unfortunately, no chair stream. You get whatever clips we're on, so maybe you get to see more boys getting busted. Oh, I see. I have an irrational dislike for Bethesda Works games. It's a thing for me. That's fine. I wholly support irrational dislikes as long as you know where they are and how they may affect how you feel. Okay. All right. Sorry. Sorry. I guess also a weird look to kind of try to defend Bethesda GameWorks while playing a Bethesda published game that I did get for free. Got a review copy of this, so I'm sitting in a free gamer chair in a free gamer house, getting free gamer money. Life's great. See you guys in a second.